Did you know that there is a bee that is native to North America and often doesn't sting? Well, we didn't either until a couple years ago when we learned about mason bees. Mason bees are a native bee to Maryland and the United States, and often they are better pollinators than the typical honeybee. Mason bees can visit over 2,000, I was gonna say 100, but it's actually 2,000 blooms each day, making them amazing pollinators and bees that you definitely want in your yard. Today I'm going to share with you how we attract these bees to our yard and set up our new bee house. If we haven't met before, I am Deanne from Hummingbird Acres, and this is our place to share our homesteading adventures with you guys. Gardening, from scratch cooking, natural living, and just pure family fun. We are so excited that you guys are here to see what we're doing at the farmhouse today, so let's jump right in. Mason bees are native to North America, and they are a solitary bee, meaning they don't live in colonies or anything like that. They live by themselves, and they are amazing pollinators. They pollinate better than the honeybee, believe it or not. They get their name from the way that they build their cocoons. They build their cocoons in a masonry style, so they use clay and water to build kind of like an egg, you could say, almost. And they lay one bee in each little cocoon mason little sack. So that's where they get their name from. The best way to attract mason bees to your yard is to put up some mason bee houses. Now you can make these by yourself by taking a block and drilling holes in it and then hanging it in your yard. Or you can buy some prefab ones. We have two prefab mason bee houses that we bought from the store. I will link them below for you if you're interested in that. And then this year we opted to go with a new type of mason bee house that is a little bit easier to clean, because the ones that you make and the ones that are prefab are most of the time one and done, because you need to clean out the tubes not the tubes, you need to clean out the tunnels that the mason bees lay their eggs in. And sometimes, especially with the ones bought from the store, the only way to clean them out is to basically destroy the house. So this one, I was super excited when I found this. This one has removable blocks, making it super easy to clean. So let's unpack this and look and see what it looks like. Bottom, it has two wing nuts that if you can do this right now so I can show you, making it so that I can remove these. There we go. So I can remove these. I can clean these channels out, and the bees will build their little cocoons in the channels. I can clean these channels out, and then I can reuse this bee house year after year, which is something that I was definitely looking for. It has this cute little roof on it, which keeps the bees dry when they're traveling in and out. Let's talk about how to hang this. So we want to hang our bee houses 3 to 5 feet off of the ground. You want the front of the house to be facing east so that the morning sun hits it and warms them up. And you can either hang it from a tree or you can hang it off of a fence post. Really, whatever you have and whatever works, just as long as it's about 3 to 5 feet off the ground. If your bee house does not have a little awning on the front of it, then I suggest you hang it somewhere where the front is going to be sheltered from the rain, because you don't want rain to get inside of the little channels there. So that is where you want to hang it. You also probably want to hang it somewhere that you're not going to walk by all the time. That way you're not in the bees' flight path as they are coming in to build their cocoons and lay their eggs. Now that you have your bee house up, you are ready to attract some of those amazing mason bees to your yard. And beyond putting up a bee house, the next best thing to do is to plant some flowers that are going to attract them. So mason bees love spring flowers, so if you have any flowering trees, dandelions, daffodils, tulips, all of those early spring flowers are perfect for mason bees and honeybees. If you want to know more flowers to plant for bees, I'll link an article below for you. It will give you some more variety for your yard. The mason bee also needs a water source and clay in order to build their cocoons. So we have a bird bath not far from our garden that the bees can visit and get water to build their cocoons. And then we also have little clay pails, not really pails, they're kind of like bird baths, but instead of water they have clay in them that the bees can visit to build their cocoons as well. So those are the 3 things that you need to attract mason bees to your yard. You need a bee house, you need bee-friendly flowers, and you need some water and some clay for them to build their cocoons. So let's talk about when is the ideal time to put up a mason bee house. And the ideal time to put up a mason bee house is just as the blooms and the blossoms are starting to open, it's starting to get a little bit warmer, and those bees are starting to wake up, and they are going to start looking for places to build a nest. So that is the perfect time to hang your bee houses. Throughout the spring and summer, you want to monitor your mason bee houses, making sure that they are staying clean and staying dry so that your bees are happy and healthy. And then come October, November, even the beginning of December, it's time to clean your mason bee houses out. And you want to get the cocoons out of the house and put them in a safe spot. I have a whole article on our website about how to do this. It is very in-depth, very detailed. If you are going to be cleaning out your mason bee houses, I highly recommend you read that. I'm not going to go into too much detail today about that, so make sure you check that link out below. But October through November, December is the perfect time to clean them out. Make sure you get all of the cocoons out, put them in a safe spot, and you can clean up your house so that it is ready for next year and ready for you to hang. If you are looking for a native pollinator, then the mason bee is exactly what you want to attract to your garden. Make sure that you put up your mason bee house and provide some bee-friendly flowers, and you are going to have so many pollinators buzzing around that you are going to have a harvest you do not know what to do with. So I cannot wait to see what your garden looks like this year and see the pollinators that visit it. Make sure you follow us on Instagram so that you can see our bee house and our garden. And thanks so much for visiting the farmhouse today. If you liked this video, please make sure you hit the like, the thumb up button. And if you want to see more of our homesteading adventures, make sure you hit subscribe and that notification bell. And we'll talk to you guys soon.